Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke. Looking terrific. In the packaging, we have just about all the figures in the wave, minus the Earth 44. Let's take a look at this guy. Alright, good old Slade Wilson. The artwork or the photography on the trading card that comes with it, I have to say it looks better than the actual figure, but that's usually the case. I mean, the pictures of the hamburgers at McDonald's always look a little better than the actual hamburgers you get, don't they? So I won't hold that against it too much. In messing around with this guy, I've kind of have found that he lacks in a lot of the articulation, and I'm kind of disappointed in that, because you'd think a figure like this, I mean, somebody like Spider-Man or Deadpool or Batman or Deathstroke would, you know, have an A+ when it comes to articulation, and I'm just not finding it with this figure. And it looks like such a great figure, especially when you see him in the box, but I don't know, he's really lacking. His head movement is not too bad. He's a little stiff, but you know, if I pulled out that snake eyes and how wobbly that damn thing is, I guess I'd rather have it a little stiff. But his head movement it does go all the way around. I do wish that he looked up a little more, and looking down is pretty good. You can't really, with this figure, you can't look down any farther, but he's got a little bit of attitude in the head tilt. I wish it had a little more. He's got this collar here that probably limits that a little bit. And then you get into the arms, and that's where I kind of find some trouble. These shoulder pads, they're a little bit. I mean, even if you took those off, these arms don't go up too terribly much. I was trying to put his hands together to hold this sword, and I popped this left arm off already, and I kind of had a heck of a time getting it back on there. I was hoping that I didn't mess it up, but it did go back in there. And the sword is a little bit to be desired for that being kind of the only accessory. I wish that it was a little nicer. And I hate to have anything to complain about or anything negative. I am naturally an optimist, and I leave it up to all the lacking fundamentals when it comes to figures, I kind of leave that up to Anthony's Customs, because he is an expert on that whole deal. But yeah, I have to say that, I don't know, it's disappointing when it comes to the articulation. There's I guess there is some bicep swivel, but it's kind of hard to stop his shoulder from moving to, well, I guess he's doing it right there. I don't know, he's just kind of difficult. Got these ball joints. I think this is the first figure that has these ball joints that is just not feeling like it's taking full advantage of it. Can move his wrist around a little much. I'm not getting any paint on my hands or anything that I'm noticing. So the paint is on there good. He doesn't have much. There is no ab crunch, but he does lean forward. And he doesn't lean back. I mean, he should have a cut in there around the rib cage and be able to do all sorts of dynamic posing, and he just doesn't have the potential for that. There's no thigh swivel. It's kind of frustrating. I was really excited about this figure, and he is one that I like to pose. Usually I don't really care or notice, but yeah, I feel like I'm gonna break his legs up. Hear that popping? That just makes me nervous. Oops, see, here we go. See that? Boy. I don't know. Oh, this is great. Well, give me a sec. All right, that took... I was going to say that took some doing, but boy, this is the worst that it's ever been when it comes to reviewing a figure and my disappointment. And it's not only disappointing because it's a disappointment in the figure itself, but I was really excited when I picked this up. You might have seen it on the toy hunt when I found it. And this character is one that I really like. I think everybody thinks that this guy's pretty cool. So it's really disappointing when you get a figure of someone you really like, and then it's just a disappointing deal like this. Okay, one more time, and then I'm throwing in the towel. This is this is really disappointing, and it's disappointing that I have to give a disappointing review on this, and that's the second time I've had to pop that in, so it's loose now. I don't know if it's just this one or I was just bending him in a way that he's not supposed to go, or what the deal is. Before I stand him here, I will say the ankle rocker is junk, for considering that the ball joints, because it seems like on the other figures that I have, it kind of helped that whole thing, but not with this. This is not what I expected. I am not a reviewer that tries to find the flaws and try to point out everything that's wrong with it. I mean, I know we need reviews like that so people can make a real informative choice when they're watching a review to decide if they want a figure. But I'm just always so grateful and so happy with the figures that I have that I kind of don't look for that stuff. I don't. But this one is just, I don't know what's going on here. I guess they just can't all be winners. But he looks cool. He's going up on the shelf with the other DC figures, and I can't wait to see him next to like the Red Hood and Nightwing, and have him kind of like that. But I don't know. Buyer beware if you're not too concerned about putting them in all kinds of dynamic posing, and if you aren't heavy on concerning yourself with articulation, he's fine. I like the paint on him. I like this kind of gold bronzy look. I like steampunk type stuff. I like steampunk colors. I've made a lot of steampunk art, and so I'm kind of a sucker for that type of color. I know this isn't a steampunk type figure, but I do like that. I know there's been a few different shades and colors of variants of Deathstroke, and this blue, I don't know, it's a nice color blue, but it's just kind of dull on this figure, I guess. I mean, since we're going to go down the hole of picking out the stuff that's on the kind of negative side, the silver on him could be a little better. It does look a little toyish, a little plasticky, but just the figure in the way that it looks sitting on your shelf with the lighting in your display room or living room, or in my case every room of my house. But he should look okay. But yeah, that's too bad. Anyway, should we rank this guy quick? I suppose a Joe's Multiverse ranking system is in order. Okay, so do I know this character? Yeah, I know this character very well. I really like the version of his character on the Arrowverse, and the other, there really hasn't been a show or anything where I've seen him where I didn't like him. He's not in a whole lot. I know there's a newer DC animated movie of him. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm sure it's good. But I'm going to give him a 5 because I do know the character very well. And do I like this character? Yeah, I like this character. I wish that there was more material out there when it comes to movies and shows and things like that. But hopefully we'll get to see some more scenes with him in the Snyder Cut. But I'm going to give him a 5 that I do like this character. And how much do I like this figure? I was hoping to give him a 5, but as soon as I started, or after I started posing him, the figure that really knocks it down, and I'm going to give him a 2, and that's kind of generous. The only thing saving him is because he is Deathstroke, and he does look cool. It is a cool looking figure, but the paint could be better and the articulation could be way better. So a 2 on that. And do I think, or how much does this fit into the wave? Of course, he's part of DC and fits in perfectly. So I'll give him a 5 there. And how lucky do I feel that I found this? And I was in the right time in the right place, because there wasn't a whole lot of these and they didn't really replenish them at Target. So very fortunate, and have a lot of gratitude that I found him. But now that I have him in my hands and reviewing him, that knocks it down a little bit, because I would have a little more gratitude if he was a better figure. So we're going to go middle of the road on that and give him a 3 out of 5. So altogether, that's wow, this is really generous and way better than this figure deserves. But that's a 20 out of 25. All right, let me know what you think of this figure, especially if you have him. Let me know if you ran into any problems, or if you're just keeping him in the box. He's probably better off there because he looks better, and you won't have to deal with his articulation. All right, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and smack that notification bell so you are notified each and every time that I come out with a new video, and I am coming out with them all the time. All right, until the next review, or we enter the multiverse. I'll see you later.